274 days since we were here last.
And that was a tough one, Mike.
It was a tough one. Last visit to Mercedes-Benz. Gave it up narrowly to Alabama. Got snuffed out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
So Johnny, it's been how many days since we put that beat down on Florida State to end the season?
246, I think, Mike, is the number on the beat down on Florida State. 63-3. Pretty easy spread to remember, a 60-point whipping.
I would say living for the football season, back to it. We've had an enjoyable off season, let's say.
For sure.
Fantastic baseball season for Georgia.
Yeah, that was a highlight from the spring, for sure.
We got to see a few people over, remind me, our friends from Mississippi State.
That's right, Mark Andrews and the Tent City Tailgate team.
Classic.
Spent some time with them. It was the Georgia-Florida baseball game series that weekend.
What a sad game that was.
Yeah, it was a tough weekend, but I mean, the season in and of itself, I mean, the Dawgs still kind of, got where they wanted to go. They got into the NCAA playoffs, hosted regionals in Athens, wound up, sadly, we dropped that 3-game set to NC State, but it, just had a great time over there. Ran into our buddy Strap Dawgs. And we'll have some stuff to share about Strap Dawgs. You and I spent one evening this summer together.
Had a good concert,
right?
Sticks and Foreigner.
Yeah.
We've seen some other good musical acts over the off season, let's say.
For sure.
But we're back at it, Johnny, and frankly, Clemson, Georgia, that's a long kind of traditional rivalry that some people viewing that are of our age would know and would remember.
Right.
Some other people might not. You got a few facts you can share about this rivalry?
Before I share factual stuff, can I share just some really juvenile stuff, Mike? This
Go
is
ahead.
like circa 1984, you guys. Some of you young people won't remember the intensity of the Georgia-Clemson rivalry from the early 80s. But I picked up this little button, and I don't know that I've ever been to a Georgia-Clemson game that I didn't wear this for good luck. Didn't mean we won every one of them, but I've certainly worn it. But yeah, Mike, you and I attended a lot of those early games back in the 80s. Believe it or not, Georgia actually holds a 43-18-4 edge in those games. You and I, the last time these two teams played each other, you and I had the privilege of being in Charlotte.
That's right.
Labor Day weekend.
That's right.
2021. We didn't know at the time, right, that was going to parlay into Georgia's first national championship since 1980. Incredible game.
Fantastic.
Remember
season.
Brock Bowers, his
that was his coming out.
True freshman season.
Yep.
I had some stats. I don't know that I got them all written down. I think he had 6 catches in that game as a freshman. You could tell right away Brock was something special.
Star.
And that particular game in 2021, no offensive touchdowns. It was a struggle, Mike.
That's
the
right.
whole game.
That's right.
We had some players injured on offense. We were still trying to figure out who the quarterback was going to be. Stetson eventually,
rose up,
took over. But, had it not been for that pick 6 from Christopher Smith, that changed the game, Mike.
Yeah.
That was the only touchdown scored in the game. I think the final on that one was 10 to 3. So, that was the game. That touchdown was awesome.
I hope we don't see that.
No, I don't know that it's going to be that kind of defensive struggle today, but it's early, so I'm not sure Georgia's offense is. I know we've got some players who may not be in today. Don't know. Clemson's got a new offensive coordinator, so we'll see. I don't know.
The usual preseason mystery. I've been optimistically, I've been kind of feeling that we can build on what we left the season with, and that maybe we'll find Clemson is still struggling a bit more to find out who they are. So I know some of our talk on the commute, there's legit respectful concern for what Clemson might bring.
Yeah.
I'm kind of feeling Georgia's going to make a testament on it. And we'll see. We'll be talking after the game about the rest of the dog track season and what we've got planned.
Right.
But we got a chance to set the stage on a memorable campaign.
There's a lot to look forward to, I think, in 2024 with the 12-team playoff. Just a lot. This is a totally new environment for college football. Feel pretty good, obviously, about Georgia being in the mix of that. You know, of course, everybody wants to go undefeated, and everybody thinks they're going to go undefeated right in August, but that ain't
Everybody's
gonna
an
happen.
optimist right now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Real quick, if we could look back, because Mike, that's one of my favorite things. Look, I'm 57. I'm that old guy now. I love to live in the past. I'm a guy of the 80s, and we'll have some. There'll be some highlights of this rolling while we're talking, but 3 of my favorite moments, Mike, I just wanted to share with you. Maybe you want to add on something to this, but 1980. Big defensive struggle game in Georgia's national championship season. Scott Werner, we were talking about him on the ride up here, legendary Georgia Bulldog, breaks off a 67-yard punt return for a touchdown and intercepts a pass to seal the game. That was that national championship season, and that defensive struggle almost played out the exact same way in 2021, like we were just talking about. No offensive touchdowns in that game, defense saved us. So that happened in 1984, we were actually, I think the Bulldog Network was playing this in the car on the way over here. Larry Munson's classic.
Joe will try to kick one 100,000 miles.
We're going to try to kick it
We're only
10,000
49
miles.
and a half.
And damn if Kevin Butler didn't do exactly that. Ball gets put down on Georgia's 49.5-yard line, and he boots a field goal to win that game. 26-23, great moment in Georgia history.
And he's getting celebrated wherever he goes.
Yep. Yeah.
This week. He ain't buying drinks and food.
No, you're right. He's being taken care of. And then another one, especially for younger folks. And I mean, I'm a huge fan of Todd Gurley. Man, what a great Georgia player. Unfortunately, injuries kind of hurt him at Georgia and then kind of ended his NFL career. But in 2014, I don't know if you were at that game, Mike, but I remember this one. I mean, the kickoff return.
Broke one off.
Yeah, 105 yards. I mean, it's just like the Red Seas parted for him. And he's a big, strong dude. But, man, he had some speed, too. He just ran away from Clemson in that game. Big win for Georgia there in Athens that day. So, some of my favorites. And then just one other point. I don't know, before I do that, anything you want to add on to those moments, Mike? You got a favorite or anything to say about any of that?
I can remember before I went in the Army, and this would have been 86 probably, we played them in Athens, and they came through and they painted tiger paws all over the street. Do you remember that?
I do vaguely.
And they stayed around these, stenciled on orange tiger paws, stayed on Athens streets for like 2-3 years after that. They did beat us that day.
Hey, we can't win them all.
No.
Right? We can't win them all.
No.
But the other thing I was just going to mention about this series, and then, I brought this up. I'm a big fan of Dog Nation and some other media. So I threw this out at Brandon Adams and folks, and I could see them kind of scratching their head thinking about this one. But I had never considered that all 3 of the Clemson national championships, 1981, 2017, and 2019, all of those Clemson teams were being quarterbacked by Georgia high school football products. 1981, Homer Jordan played for Cedar Shoals, a great athlete. Our friend with us today, Alex Pannell, is a good friend of Homer's and still sees him. He lives around Athens. Just a great athlete. They won that championship in 81. Deshaun Watson, everybody knows that name. 2017, Deshaun went to high school in Gainesville. And then in 2019, Trevor Lawrence from Cartersville, another one. And so it's interesting too, Mike, that the series we were talking about, Georgia holds a decided edge, history-wise. But since 1980, we won the championship in 80. They won it in 81. They won championships in 2017 and 2019 after a long drought. And we win them in 2021 and 2022 after a long drought. So the programs kind of mirror each other in terms of kind of the ebbs and flows of peaks and valleys. And right now, of course, Georgia is, it'd be hard to say that we're not on a peak, that's where we're at. Clemson has slipped just a touch, maybe. I think it's fair to say, the last couple of seasons. They want to get back big time.
Like everybody.
And that's why this game is so important, I think, today.
And 4 hours from now, we'll be back here. I need to get a drink in my hand. I'm running behind schedule.
You're behind, Mike.
But let us introduce you to a couple of guests that may or may not show up a little later. They've been able to join us today. Hey, Tom, Alex, would y'all mind coming in, stepping in a little bit?
Sure, why not?
Y'all may never have met our professional critic here, Alex Pannell, very old friend of ours.
Wearing the Herschel jersey today.
Going old.
Gotta like that, man.
Yeah.
Gotta
And
like that.
Brother Tom was able to fly in from D.C. today. Actually flew in from Maryland, probably.
Yeah, Baltimore on the red eye out of BWI, yes.
I think it might be a red eye coming out of Baltimore because there was a strong fragrance of cannabis on the
Yes, I do
aircraft. Is
believe
that
there
true?
were like Cheech and Chong were somewhere in the back of this airplane. Yeah, I could probably, I'll probably be getting that odor out of my clothes for a long time.
So Tom's on our plan today, Mike. I mean, that's one of our MOs. It's like flying in on game day, right, for some of these big away games and getting out of town the same day on,
Slipping in, slipping out.
Man, that's a true fan. Flying in this morning.
Yeah, great opportunity. It's been a long winter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Alex, we were
ready
talking
to
about
see the kick off.
your relationship with Homer Jordan. We were talking about Homer, Clemson QB back
Got
in
anything to
'81.
say about it?
Well, Johnny was asking, really saying, I don't think he was a better quarterback than Georgia had at the time.
No, we're talking about Buck Bellew.
Yeah, we're talking about Buck Bellew.
Well, and to be fair now, I said maybe
Better
he's
passer.
a little bit better passer than Buck, maybe. And you
little
had a
better.
strong opinion about that, so go ahead.
I would say that Homer was
Please,
significantly
you said
better.
5X is what you said.
Let's go 8X then. Let's just go 8X.
Now, to be
I'll own
fair,
that.
the man wearing the old standing Bulldog logo on his polo shirt also spent how many years as a student at Clemson?
Just a year.
Just
and
a year.
And
Okay.
a year at South Carolina.
So
I've at least tried to infiltrate.
So you're not as much of a homer as Mike and I in this situation, is what I'm trying to do.
I don't know. We grew up in Athens. We went to school, graduated there, and intimately connected to the university since we were children. No, I'd say I'm
You're a true homer. All right.
I'd say so.
Well, and Homer. Speaking of Homer, Homer's still in Athens, right? Went to
He
Cedar
is.
Shoals,
Went to
runs
Cedar
a car detailing business. I
That's
think you told
correct.
me.
That's right.
So, hey, maybe we may post something about that if you need.
Homer can get it done. So
Homer is the man, from what I hear,
I mean,
on that deal.
He's another Athens football great, is what I would call him.
For sure.
And his kids are too.
He's got to be in the Hall of Fame, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Oh
Athens
yeah.
Hall?
Oh yeah. Absolutely.
If you want that 8X car detail, Homer Jordan.
Homer.
All right.
You can
We'll
check him
check
out.
in with y'all later. Go Dawgs.
Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Cheers. 35-10.
I think so. I'm not positive.
According
but-
to-
My name's Ryan. I'm from Marietta.
Marietta. All right, Marietta House.
How long you been going? You go to Georgia? Ryan from
My whole
Marietta?
family went to Georgia, so I've been going to a lot of games.
Legacy man.
Yeah, it's
Entonces, es modelo.
Modelo for a friend.
Uno más. Un campeonato más. ¡Vayan los perros!
We are fucking doing it.
My man.
I know what's the prize.
Oh no, not the presentation of the chain. All right, everybody. I think Kirby Smart's about to get the leather helmet. But interestingly, on this journey, our old friend Alex, who Johnny and I brought in really as a professional critic, he always points out the opportunities for everyone to improve. But I must say, randomly today, Johnny, the universe selected Alex. Somehow, a stranger, a wise black gentleman with a gray beard, chose Alex for some reason to bestow this golden necklace of honor upon him, somehow recognizing that finally, Alex, who has witnessed how many losses in the Mercedes-Benz, Alex?
All I can say is the dog within me recognizes the dog within you.
Yes. Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's it, man. That's it.
And somehow, Johnny, this guy realized Alex has never seen a victory in Mercedes-Benz. He did today, Johnny.
Today,
It was impressive.
It was.
today is the change line. 34-3. Listen, it was a tough game. Listen, we're going to credit to the Clemson Tigers. Tough defense. The Dawgs prevailed. Step one on
A long journey.
step one on a long journey, as you say. Listen,
Johnny, we got 3 destinations this season that we got to get to and add to our Dog Tracks channel.
Give
We
us
got to
strength.
get to Alabama,
Give us
Tuscaloosa.
strength.
That's coming up. We already got the tickets.
Give us strength and we'll walk
We
this
got
down.
that new addition to the conference, University of Texas, Austin.
Give us
Now
strength.
that's going to be an odd bird.
Give
Johnny,
us
that
strength.
trip. They got that Formula One
big time game.
thing that
Big
same
time game.
weekend.
And we'll walk this down.
We're
Give
going
us
to try to
strength.
make a weekend of it. You know, we're going to try. And then we got Ole Miss, Johnny. That's another stadium we haven't been to yet.
We don't know what Ole Miss is going to bring, but we know the passion that Ole Miss brings from the tailgating. We know the passion they bring for their team. So, listen, we're ready for it all. The Dogs are ready for
We
it all.
rock this.
Listen,
We
we know
rock
what's
this.
going to happen today.
We rock
34-3, beat down. Dogs beat down Clemson.
A continuation
Absolutely.
from that Florida State game.
Historic series.
We rock this.
The Dogs beat
Dogs.
down the
Dogs.
Tigers. We're going to do it. Mike, you and I, we're going to be there for all of it. The Dogs are going to beat them all down. The Dogs are going to win the 2024 National Championship.
Yeah.
Forget about
Yeah.
it. The Dogs are
Yeah.
number one. We
That's
are
what we
number
need.
one. Let's
That's what we
go, Dogs!
Go Dogs! Season 3 of Dog Tracks. Bring it.
Dog Tracks!